Here's my real love review of the Tomorrow series and the Ellie Chronicles in honour of the late John Marsden. It gets 0 stars. Here's why.
Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler! This is a spoiler warning.
Don't get me wrong, I love the Tomorrow series. I was introduced to it by my Year 4 teacher who read the first book aloud to the class, skipping over the explicit scenes of course, and it sparked my love of reading. I've returned to this book and this series on numerous occasions in my life, and it rivals the Harry Potter series with most rereads. These two series follow the story of Ellie, a farm girl in rural Australia, and her ragtag group of friends who happen to go camping the same weekend a foreign power invades Australia and puts their town into lockdown. Instead of cowering in the bush and lying low until the war ends, they decide to fight back, guerrilla style. The Tomorrow series covers the wartime years and the Ellie Chronicles cover the aftermath of the war. One of the people in Ellie's group is Lee, a Thai Vietnamese boy who she has a growing interest in. The feelings are mutual, but their relationship is slow going and cautious. Ellie leads the charge in going to save Lee when he is wounded, but it is an act of love for her friends and saving her people, rather than an act of love for Lee specifically. But then she does save him from enemy farmers just after she has learned that he was betraying the group and cheating on her. Ellie is deeply affected by her ability to kill others when the situation calls for it, and doesn't like this part of herself, whereas Lee relishes killing the enemy and becomes increasingly violent and hateful the longer the war goes on, becoming someone unrecognizable to Ellie, and she feels an aversion to this part of him. Despite all this, Lee is constantly trying to get in her pants, but she is constantly emotionally unavailable to him, and every time she says no to him, he gets angry about it. And like I said, Lee cheats on her in Burning for Revenge with none other than one of the enemies. Ignoring all of Lee's red flags, they make some small attempts at rekindling their relationship, but it is driven by loneliness and grief recovery and are just acts of lust, like when they have sex in the creek after the war is over. The reality is that war changed them both, and their attraction was too shallow to survive these changes, even though at the end of the Ellie Chronicles, Ellie suddenly professes her love for Lee, and it's assumed that they go on to live together with Lee's younger siblings and Ellie's ward Gavin as shared babysitters and perhaps something more. John Marsden's argument is that love and life go on even in the face of war and imminent danger. And Ellie and Lee, as teenagers, had a good go at keeping the things worth living for as part of their lives during the war. But in the end, they were just two teenagers driven by hormones and testing the waters of love. Because of this, the Tomorrow series and the Ellie Chronicles gets a 0 star real love rating.